What up, what up, what up, yo? It is Pimp Yo PR. Pimp Yo PR. I don't know why I'm putting the aura on it. Maybe because I'm actually lit today. I'm hyped because I am with a special guest. Now, y'all know how we do. If somebody needs to tell me, can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Let me know. Can you hear me? Can you see me? I see Lee has chimed in. Her dean has chimed in. I just need to know we can hear and see you. All right. So D, I believe, no, this is not the right D, because I'm like, D, this guest I'm having just because of your specific request. I went on the hunt for this because my D page actually asked for someone who can speak about social media. And that is what we are doing today. So this is Pimp Yo PR Wednesday. I am TJ Mercer. I am known as the chief noisemaker of Media Mavericks Academy. It was that D. Okay, I couldn't remember. It was somebody. It was, I know I had a D who would ask me, can I find somebody who could speak on social media? So I brought you the best. But I'm known as the chief noisemaker of Media Mavericks Academy, and that is where I teach authors, experts, coaches, and entrepreneurs how to book themselves in the media without a publicist and without being a celebrity. So my Mavericks kill the game on outlets like ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, CW. I actually have a Maverick going on Sister Circle tomorrow. Right before this, I was coaching her. She's my 13-year-old vegan chef, and she ready. And so, yeah, they've done Steve Harvey, the doctors, Dr. I. So you know what? I know what I'm doing. And every Wednesday, I'm here, as some of you know, dishing out media tips. But I decided that the month of March, I wanted to kind of do an informal series, not really naming it just in case something happened. But it's kind of turned out that I've landed guests who I wanted them to come talk about how to complement what I do in the media. And so I'm calling this series Informally. You've done an interview, now what? And so first up is the beast known as Natalie Goucher. I don't know why I always have to say her name like that, but I just cannot go Natalie Goucher. It's always Natalie Goucher. So Natalie and I, we share clients. We have clients in common. And I've always known about her, kind of see her post sometimes. And then one of my clients actually took the step of connecting us and making an official introduction. And it was love at first sight, at least on my end. I can't speak for her. It was love on first sight. Like unfortunately, she was doing an event in Los Angeles where I happened to be in town. So I'm like, come hell or high water, I'm going. It was sold out. But then because, people love me, I ended up getting slid in the back door. Somebody had to hold the back door open for me and tell me to scoot on in. And Natalie didn't know because she didn't know that I hadn't registered. So she greeted me with a big old hug. She greeted me with a big old hug. And we just hugged for days. But let me tell you something. I sat in on this webinar on her event at Neutrogena, and girlfriend was killing the game with knowledge. And so, she has helped brands like, y'all probably never heard of them though, but like Staples, Bentley Mills, Acura. I'm sure you've never heard of those brands. And she is out here really teaching people how not only to be popular on social media, but more importantly, to be profitable. So I thought that it was absolutely imperative that I bring her to you since one of you specifically asked for her. So I would like to formally introduce you to the one, the only, Miss Natalie Goucher.
Hey, I just love the way you say my name. Say it again.
Natalie Goucher.
So funny.
Nat, Natalie, let's get right to it because you're the no fluff social media trainer. I'm the no fluff. That's why we start on time. I don't wait for people to okay, I'm gonna give a few people to file in. Nope, we don't do none of that here over at Pimp Your PR Wednesday. Yeah. So we're gonna get right into it. And guys, if you have questions, start putting them in the thread. I'm telling you, people like Natalie, they are moving targets. So this is the one place you have her attention to ask any of your social media questions that you've been wanting to have a bona fide expert answer. So be sure to actually put it in the comments. Now, Natalie, give us a little bit about your background before you became the no fluff social media trainer.
Well, I actually had no intent of ever, being in marketing. I had no interest, didn't even think I could be an entrepreneur. I have an 11, about to be 12-year-old next week. So when she was born, I just was like, how can I stay home with her? I don't want to have to go back to work. How can I be home with her, raise this little girl? And I just started looking for ways to stay home. Didn't find anything legitimate, went back to work, got bamboozled into a network marketing company. I'll tell that full story another day. But the short version is I sat back and was like, you know what? Let me try this thing. Had no experience. And I absolutely sucked at marketing. So this was when Facebook was just kind of like opening up to people outside of college students. And I was trying to use it to build my network marketing business. And I would spam people. People were like ready to block me. And it wasn't good, TJ.
Doing it all kinds of wrong.
And I started going to workshops very similar to one that you came, which is why I love hosting them. Started going to workshops to learn how to do it the right way. And within a matter of 3 months, I was able to triple my income. In a matter of 6 months, I was able to quit my corporate job using social media strategies. And I became the youngest West Coast president in that company. And people started asking me, well, how did you do what you did? Because I'm over here doing home parties and trying to sell juices and berries in the living room of somebody's house. And you building teams in Africa and Europe and people online who've never met you. How are you doing it? And I literally would just hook up my laptop. It was this big dinosaur HP laptop at the time. I would hook it up to my TV in my 1-bedroom apartment. And I would share with people, this is what I'm doing. Not as a business, just sharing. And from then it took off and the rest is history.
Wow. And what is it that you enjoy most, Natalie, about social media and your journey of how you watched it, you've kind of evolved around it?
The funny thing is I don't like social media as much as I love what it can do for people.
Okay. That's a good distinction.
Yeah, because the social media piece of it, I'm not particularly excited about every tool that comes out and posting every day. That's not the thing that gets me excited. It's when you do it the right way, the people that you can reach, like you, right? People that you get in contact with, that you build relationships with, that's what excites me about it. So being able to help people facilitate those and get their message out, and seeing the aha moments in people when they learn how to do something that they see, gets them a result. That's what I love.
Okay. So let's get then into the nitty gritty, because I know you are all about, I think you said something earlier, likes, not sale. Tell them, what's your mantra?
Likes aren't sales, or likes ain't sales.
Mm-hmm.
Likes ain't sales. So people are so, into the social media age. They're like, I want more followers. I want it to look pretty. I want people to engage with me and like my page. And it's like, yeah, I hear you. But what about the back end stuff? Like, do you have that stuff? Do you know how to sell? Do you have your email marketing game on point? Are you comfortable with taking a prospect from beginning to end? Or do you just want to look good and look like you're popular? Because that's where people are getting messed up. Is spending all the wrong time and energy in the wrong places. When at the end of the day, if you have a business, what are you there for? To look cute, or are you there to make some money?
So this particular broadcast definitely is not for people who are necessarily looking at building a following so they can be influential.
Yeah.
Or they're not looking to be the next Instagram model. We're not talking about that. That's not even what I do in the traditional media space. So let me be clear. This is for people who are looking to be profitable and use social media as a tool to engage and influence and then ultimately end up making their bank account sing.
Sure. That's
so
it.
then with that said, Natalie, what have you found have been some mistakes that people make when they're doing social media and they're doing it from a perspective of trying to actually help it increase their bottom line?
What I mentioned before, there's no structure or system on the back end. So they're just kind of doing everything manually, or they have no follow-up procedure. It's like if someone DMs you and is interested, you going all over the place trying to figure out how to, get them to move to the next step, when really it should be a streamlined process. So I'll give you an example. So if someone reaches out to me and they're like, hey, Natalie, they have a quick question, I may answer the quick question. If someone needs help, it's always the same thing. I always make them fill something out first. I review that. And then based on that, I determine, do they get a phone call next? Are they going to, get a free video series of some sort? Is the next step me just sharing the product that I think is going to best serve them? And then from there, the next steps will follow. But it's really always the same thing. There's always a barrier, so to speak, because you have to determine, in my particular field, where my brain is my product, I have to determine if people are serious before I decide to pick up the phone. So I always have that application process. Now, if you're maybe not a service-based business like myself, and you have ebooks, or you have courses, or you have retail products, then sure, you'll send a link to those sorts of things. But service-based businesses have to have an application survey, something there that's going to qualify those people.
And so that then leads me into, because that's one of the things that I am big on too with traditional media. It's no sense of me helping you land an interview on ABC, NBC, CBS, or Fox, and you can't handle, there's no system, no structure in place for you to handle it once they get back to your website.
Yeah.
You're going to get inundated, and then things are going to fall through the crack, and then people will start looking at you side eye like, what happened? I can't get.
They don't remember you. They don't remember you. If you say, let's say you're on TV and you have nowhere to point them, and they just saw a pretty face on TV, it's like, okay, that's cool. But on to the next story, on to the next thing. How do you continue to nurture those relationships and eventually move them to the next phase, whatever that may be, whether it's, a call with you, or going to an event, or watching a video series that you put together? You've got to move them along the process.
Okay. What's another mistake?
Not being consistent. That's my biggest thing there. I think consistency in general, but especially with social media, not really, showing up, and I don't know if you ever heard Cheryl Woods. Love her. She's amazing speaker.
I love me some Cheryl Woods.
She said something that was so dope. I watched her speak when she came to LA, and she said, visibility trumps credibility. And that kind of messed me up for a second. I said, visibility trumps credibility. And I was like, wow. So all she was saying is that the more that you're visible in front of people, the more they perceive that you're credible. So showing up and showing maybe a little bit behind the scenes of what you're doing, telling some stories, sharing those, tips and tidbits, so that people remember you when they're ready to make a purchase, because you've been in front of them pretty consistently. Now, someone who's maybe even more credible than you, but hasn't been active, it may appear that they're not consistent. And so, you could lose out on some business that way.
I like we were talking about before we went live. I was sharing the fact that when she was going over what, some of the mistakes were with me, because I had my own personal time with her first. So I remembered that I was in television for 20 years. So TV is in my mind, it's a perfectionist kind of, there was nothing that would air that I didn't do everything I could to be perfect. So when live streaming came out, it was too overwhelming to worry about what the background is, what the set is the lighting perfect? Is my hair did? Do I need to get makeup? And I finally had to settle. I need to just be consistent. And right. I had to ask my, my community, do you want me cute or do you want the content?
Right.
Because a lot of times you ain't going to get both.
choose one or the other.
You get to choose. I'm gonna give you, an option. But if you want me here just dishing out nuggets for you every Wednesday, or when I used to do on Mondays, I'm gonna just need you to kind of let me be in the middle of my living room floor like I am now. And let me just go at it. I'll put on some lipstick for you, but let me, be more focused on the content of serving you. So I like that, it really is the visible part. Yeah, I'm not going to show up with in my hair all over. Well, no, I can't say that either, because sometimes I have done lives where I was getting my hair done. So that don't even work. But I think, it is true that when people are starting to see you all the time, they tune in. I think statistically, you may know this, Natalie, or you can correct me, but statistically, people don't buy from you until like after that seventh touch.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And you know what? So I was just talking to somebody about that today. So I think that may be an older stat, but yes, the point is they need to see you several times. But if you deliver some really, really good content the first or second or third time, it can shorten the process. But what I will tell you, people do, they're Googling you. They're looking on your social media before they buy from you. They are seeing what other people have to say about you. So that's why it can shorten the period of time. So let's say you deliver some amazing content, and maybe it's only the second or the third time someone's heard from you. They may go back and start looking at your Instagram or on your Facebook and see, what kinds of things you've been posting, who's been responding, if you've responded to them. So those little things we start to look for nowadays. So that consistency factor plays a big part in business, period, but then on social for sure.
Now, that trick for me, were you saying that as far as they're Googling you, they want to know what everybody else is saying about you? One of the things, and this is really kind of it's off topic, but it was one of my takeaways from Natalie's presentation that I got to sit in on in person, is even when she talks about the how of doing a testimonial.
Yes.
Natalie, you remember that?
Yes.
Tell them what you told me, that I was like, see, I didn't think of it like that. So will you give them that formula?
Yes. So you have to get to the before of where people were before they worked with you, right? Most people get these fluffy testimonies, which are, TJ was amazing. I liked her hair. She's so cute with her glasses. She was patient. Loved working with her. You totally should hire her. It's like, didn't really do it for me. Told me a little bit. Oh, can you hear me?
I lost Natalie.
Oh no.
Can y'all hear me? Uh-oh.
I'm here. Oh no, TJ.
Natalie. Okay, so I'm live. And okay, so I think we got Natalie back. Natalie, are you back?
I'm here. Can you see? I've been here the whole time.
Okay, yeah, I lost you in my dashboard window, but I think according to them, they heard everything, but I got just knocked out. It was just weird. I just got knocked out. So did they hear? Guys, tell me if you actually heard her full explanation of.
I didn't get to get the whole thing.
Okay, so go ahead now that we're back on track.
Yeah, I was just saying, you have to take people from where they were before they started working with you so that other people can see the change. Because in this day and age where so many people are PR experts or social media experts or realtors or whatnot, and they're a dime a dozen, now it's getting harder and harder to determine who's real and who's not. And so one of the ways that people are doing that is they're looking up your testimony. So the way that I could give TJ a proper testimony would be instead to say, before working with TJ, I had no clue how to get media and I didn't even know where to start. I tried Googling it and got frustrated, put the computer down and decided it wasn't, something that I could handle on my own. When I worked with her, Within the first 30 days, I was able to get 3 media appearances, and from that, booked 3 corporate clients. Since then, I've doubled my income and absolutely feel like TJ's role in my business is what made the difference. But you talk about the before and the after. Now, someone's going to see that, read that, and go, I'm the before, she can take me there. But if you only know where the person is now, it doesn't really do it justice to what you've done for them. So you have to ask the right questions when getting that testimony.
That's good. Because I have solid testimonials that talk about the results, and it talks about how fast they book themselves.
Yeah.
But I never thought about, I should probably, get them to talk about where. I think that was good. I remember thinking like, oh, wow, that was a major, major aha moment for me.
Such a huge difference.
So Nat, tell me what things that we should consider making sure. Like, I know I have my things that I tell my traditional media, but for those people who are listening that they haven't quite booked themselves yet, they're not media mavericks just yet. They're coming. But what do they need to have in place before they really start putting themselves out there, making noise in social media space?
So one of the things I want to share is the ACT social media marketing method that I shared a little bit about at the workshop. So the A stands for authenticity. Being you, being authentic, showing up how you normally do in your most comfortable space, of course, professional, but authentic so that you can connect with the people who really you're truly meant to connect with. And then through that, you get introduced to more people who are completely fine with how you operate. So that's the A. P stands for consistency. We've already gone through that. Stay consistent. Don't need to say any more about that. And then the T stands for tell your people what to do. So the simplest way to get people to do something is just to tell them or to ask them, right? So if you want them to join your mailing list, tell them to do that. You want them to subscribe to your YouTube channel, tell them to do that. And so it's very simple, but you only do that 20% of the time. So if you're watching, you want to make sure you don't do that every single post. You're going to do it 20% of the time. 80% of the time is value, is entertainment. It's the authenticity. It's the storytelling. It's all those things that make people want to be pulled into what you're doing. And then 20% of the time you tell them what to do.
Y'all get that? Y'all got the ratio? 80% you're putting out there, just delivering that. I'm trying to think now, have I done that? Like, I got to check myself now.
Well, you do it now. And I always see you love telling stories. I see your stories. That counts as part of that 80%. Basically,
okay, good.
People don't sell all the time. That's all I'm selling. And
okay,
I'm saying, not selling.
okay. Because I'm like, and I had to check myself. Like, have I been providing value or no? So 80-20, guys. That's the rule. 80-20. And then what, Natalie, is the key to actually getting the sales, of converting those likes into loot?
Yes, likes into loot. I love that.
Oh, so, you should use that. That's my gift. Like, I teach you. That's what does that do? I teach you how to turn likes into loot. You gotta give me credit for that though. You gotta go. They told me.
Listen, you heard me. I gave Cheryl credit when she said that amazing thing. I have no problem giving folks credit, right? So you know what? So my favorite ways are to bring them into something live. Mm-hmm. So like you're doing now. I also love workshops and I love webinars. I convert more people at workshops and webinars than anything else, right? So email is another one of my favorites, but I'm going to talk about workshops and webinars. And here's a little tidbit. Don't be scared to get people in person. I know that we are, in the social media space, and as a social media coach, you probably expect me to, keep giving you some online tools. But here's the deal. Things are shifting now because, again, there's so many people who do what you do, and it's hard to choose. If you can get people to trust you enough to drive to you, sit in your space, listen to what you have to say, you've already won half the battle. And if you can do what you say you can, then you can invite them to work closer with you. And it's so much easier when it's in person. It really is.
Good.
Don't be afraid to start off small. Meetups, workshops, classes. it also adds a different level of credibility to you as well when people see an audience in front of you. Because it's easy to sit in your PJs and watch somebody on a webinar.
Mm-hmm.
You got a sitter, you you paid somebody to watch the kids, you put some makeup on, put some clothes on, drove an hour and sat in front of someone. It lends a different level of credibility to you.
So I want to ask a couple questions here that they post. Guys, post your questions so you can have access to getting Natalie to answer them. You won't have Natalie Goucher answering your questions. So Lee Ryman says, does the Facebook announcement today change how we use the platform? I didn't know that there was a Facebook announcement today.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been busy with clients all day. I don't even know what that is. What that
okay. So Lee, if you're still listening, type or anybody know what the Facebook announcement was today. So because I don't know what that is. So type the update for me, and then I'll go to D. D Francis says, D is the one that actually requested, TJ, I need you to go find me a social media expert. So she says, hi, Natalie. I'm a therapist that specializes in sex and relationships. I am wondering, where do you think that we can best use our energy on social media as we look to grow our brand recognition? Also, how do we fall into the trap? How do we not fall into the trap of having a lot of fans but no customers?
Yes, that's a great question. So I'm working with 3 psychotherapists right now, and they all are using Instagram as their main platform. So obviously Facebook owns Instagram, but you'll get a little more love on Instagram these days than you will on Facebook with how algorithms and things like that are working. So I would definitely choose one of the 2, but your audience is definitely in both of those places. And you want to deliver content, but also 20% of the time invite people to go in deeper with you. So here's the thing. There's going to be people who just are there for the free content. They're not looking for services. And that's why 80% of the time you're serving them, right? But there's inevitably people who are going to hear what you have to say, and it's going to strike a chord, and they're going to want to work further with you. So you have to make the habit of inviting them and saying, if this resonated with you, but you want to be able to do X, Y, and Z, I want to invite you to, and then that's to the next thing, whether that's a workshop, a webinar, an application to fill out an opportunity, to speak with you. But that 20% of the time, that's how you get those people to move on over to the next level. And that's how you can, get out of the trap of just producing content and never putting anyone anywhere else so that they can move to the next level with you.
Good. Let me see if Lee has any more questions. I mean, if Lee actually, no. Okay. So I don't know. Does anybody know what that announcement was? Because I haven't seen an announcement today either. Natalie, I asked you when I was there, and so maybe people also would have the same question, is because I noticed that my Instagram likes and engagement has gone drastically down.
Yeah.
And can you talk a little bit about that and tell them if you remember what you told me? But because you kind of checked me on it too. But
I probably told you, girl, that don't matter, or something like that.
Yep. Yep.
Listen, so here's the deal. I think that everyone should be running ads. I don't know if I talked to you about that or if I mentioned that. But ads are a great way to get in front of people on a consistent basis, because if people are not engaging with you on your Instagram or your other posts, which, let's be honest, I have a Facebook page that probably has like 18,000 people. There's sometimes my posts that reach like 300 people or less. I mean, it's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Or I'll upload a video and have 5 views. Like, you're not the only one. But I don't care about that. You know why? Because I'm always running something in the background.
Okay.
That's getting people to a workshop, a webinar, a free download. So whether people are engaging on my pages or not, I still got things going. And that could mean you have an ad running for $5 a day. Like, everybody that's watching this can do that, right? So skip some lunch. Don't go get your coffee at Starbucks and spend $5 a day on an ad to get in front of 300 to 1,000 new people. And the caveat to that is that you've got to have something valuable to share, whether you're doing a Facebook Live and maybe you just boost that post. or a free download or something, but you got to know who you're speaking to. That's another thing that I tell people is so important, because all of this other stuff won't make sense if you're not resonating with people. Okay. So you could be posting consistently, but nobody's paying attention because you're not speaking to any one group. And people are so afraid to get specific because they think, oh, I want to target everyone. Everyone can benefit from my service. And while that may be true, which is probably not, you want to speak to people in a way that they go, oh, yeah, yep, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
That to people, then nobody's responding because you're so generic that it just doesn't feel like you're speaking to anyone. You're just trying to get everybody, you know?
And you want to make it conversational. Like, one of the things that people compliment me on is they can hear me speaking to them, even if they've never met me. They are imagining my voice because it's conversational, and that I'm not speaking in a third party. I'm not speaking abstractly, and I'm speaking in my voice because I want you to know this is who you're dealing with.
Right. So if you book me, this is who you're going to get.
This is who you're going to get. Like, I get people on the phone all the time. And one gentleman was like, oh my God, you really are this way. And I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, well, I read your posts. I watch your videos. I read your emails. You are like this. This is who you are. And I'm like, yeah.
I'll tell you a fun story. You gave me a compliment on my green sweater when I hopped on. And it just made me smile because when I first started online, you know, I'm young now, I'm 32 years old. I started almost 10 years ago now. And when I started, I was even younger. And so I always felt the need to appear to be older and more rigid and more seasoned. And so I would wear these black suits and these brown suits and these gray suits. And I would straighten my hair. My hair is naturally curly. I would straighten it out and I would try to appear to be someone I wasn't. And it was trying to do that because I started attracting people who thought that that's who I was, and that's not really who I was.
Right.
So about the sweater, the first time I did a photo shoot, so I've had this for a while now. I did it in this green sweater, and my hair was curly and was down, and it felt so good. And the second that I kind of was like, listen, if folks ain't trying to come to me because I got this information, I don't care if they think I'm young, old, cute, whatever. If they're not trying to rock with this, maybe they're just not for me, but there is someone else for them. You know what I mean? And
my translation to that when I teach, my clients is do not show up as who you think they want you to be. Show up as who you are.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because you can't maintain.
Nope.
And it's exhausting.
It is.
It's like, can you imagine me trying to tame all of this on a regular basis? Like, I can give you probably 3 good minutes of me not being all over the place. And then after that, it's gonna seep out. So do not show up, especially in the social media space where we are looking for authenticity. We're looking for transparency. We're looking for people to just be real. And so as a result, we want you to show up. I want you to show up in traditional media as you are. And Natalie is sitting there telling you now, she wants you to show up on social media as you are.
And when I've been on TV, I've been who I am as well. So
because we don't want you to tone that down, because a lot of times people get on, they want to be the expert. They want to be considered like, it's time for me now to be the expert. And I'm like,
expert voice on.
Who are you? And it just doesn't work. And you come across very stiff and very unrelatable. So definitely. Natalie, real quick, speak to, is there a difference between social media ads and Facebook ads?
So Facebook ads and Instagram ads.
That's what I didn't mean social media ads. I meant Facebook and Instagram. Sorry. Thank you.
There's a difference. You can run ads directly from inside of Instagram, but you have to have a Facebook ads account. So it's going to make you link it to Facebook because it owns, Facebook owns them. So you can start an ad on Facebook and it can run to Facebook and to Instagram at the same time. It gives you the capability as long as your Instagram is connected to your Facebook account, which it usually asks you when you set it up.
Okay.
So there is a difference, but you can set it up in one place and have it go everywhere if you wanted to.
And when you spoke to Dee, who asked the question of where she should be, are there any kind of rules or parameters where this is, if you're in this kind of business, you really want to focus on Facebook, but if you're in this kind of business, you want to focus on Instagram, or if you're in this kind of business, Twitter is your playground, right. Or is it really where you feel most comfortable and can get the most engagement?
That's a really great question. So one of the things that I like to tell my clients to do is to look up the different industries on different platforms. So let's say you have, let's say you are a sex therapist, like she mentioned. Is there another public figure that's in that space, and where is their playground, and where are people responding to them the most? That would probably give you a good indication of where you may want to spend your time. So do that. And then also each platform has a different culture. So whereas Facebook, you can do it like we're doing here, a 10-minute, 15-minute video, and that's fine. Whereas Instagram, like it's shown now that like these 30-second clips, these 15-second clips do really well. So you have to kind of know what content goes well with what platform, and then deliver that there, or cut down your content or expand it to fit the audiences on each one. I hope that.
Yeah, because that's why I'm like, I suck at Twitter. I don't even try Twitter, because I'm like, okay. The only reason why I have Twitter is for me to go see what Black Twitter is doing, or somebody getting roasted.
Okay, but can I give you a free tool? So ladies and gentlemen,
absolutely.
DLV.RT. Yeah, DLV.RT. Look that up online. You can find your favorite media outlets and websites. So let's say like a Huffington Post Black Voices, or a Essence, or
wait, what did you say, Natalie? DLV.RT what?
DLV.RT. So it's not .com. If you just type in it's deliver it. DLVR. Let me just type it in real quick to make sure I have it the right way.
Okay, because I want to make sure, because I remember now you mentioning that.
I'm going to type it and make sure I have it right. DLV.RT. Let's see. Yep, that's right. DLVR.IT. That's correct. So what you want to do is you can look up your favorite trusted sources and say, for example, you're like me, you're not active on Twitter. Well, guess what? If you went to Twitter right this second and you looked up Natalie Goucher, it would appear that I was active, because I have automatically chosen a few outlets that I trust content from, and it automatically feeds there no matter what. You set it up one time and it goes.
Dope.
Yes. So
that's dope.
Black Enterprise, Hootsuite, all of my social media spaces. And I'm like, I trust these resources. It's going out for me automatically. People are retweeting it, clicking it, sharing, responding, and I don't have to do anything. Hello.
Couple more questions from the viewer, Natalie. That I'm gonna have to start implementing that. I saw Herdine. What is the best way to attract new clients for online classes? But I think you kind of touched on that. That's still the 80-20, putting yourself out there on the correct platform. Yeah. Right?
Yes. And, you have to find out what it is that they need. And, if you're going to deliver it in like a workshop or a webinar, you don't have to give your whole secret sauce away. You can give a piece of it away, but give a good piece of it away, and give that piece away in detail so that they feel very empowered. They know you're the expert, and they feel like, wow, if she gave me this information, I can't even imagine what the other pieces of what she has can do. But here's the thing. After you give that information, you have to make the invitation for those who are ready for the next level. Everyone's not going to be ready. Some people are going to be able to walk away with that, and that's perfect for them to start. Whereas other people are like, okay, Nat, that was good. Next level time. How do I go? And then you say, great, here's the next space. What I wouldn't do is, and I hate this, doing free things like webinars, workshops where you're doing it just to sell, meaning that you're not giving them value. You're just giving them a little bit, and then it's like a bait and switch. Can't stand it. Don't do that. Give them a good piece and enough for them to know you know what you're talking about.
That's good, because if anybody who's around me, y'all already know we serve over in Maverick Land, right? Noisemakers, my Mavericks, y'all know we serve. We are not interested in doing media for the sake of just selling and promoting. We don't do that. So that's no different. I know I'm not gonna have any problems with any of my noisemakers doing any kind of webinars just for the point of selling.
Right.
you're going to be delivering value, which
Yes.
then leads me to Natalie has a program that she actually has already filled. It's already filled.
Done.
It's done. But when I reached out to her to ask her if she would do this, she said, okay, she would make room for one spot.
Oh, no.
One. So you're gonna have a conversation with her because it's hands. Well, I'll let you tell it. Tell about it, Natalie, because I may mess it up.
Yeah. So my signature program is called Market My Vision. I've been doing it for 5 years now. This is the 6th year. And it is intended for service providers. So I'm speaking specifically to you if you're a coach, a service provider, an author who has workshops, and you have things that you want to fill, i.e. workshops, classes, your services, your programs, your coaching and consulting packages, right? And so I teach you how to do that with a 5-step proven system that I use for myself to sell out my courses, programs, and workshops. And so like TJ said, I have opened up one slot. It's completely sold out. It's at the capacity. But what you can do is she has the link. I don't know if you want to pop it in there, but you can fill out an application.
I'm getting ready to do it right now.
Page. So if you want to, read a little bit about, what I've been able to help my clients do, you can read, about that there, apply there, and I will personally review your application. And if I feel like it could be a good fit, I'll send you the details. We can hop on a call. Scouts Honor, I'm not trying to sell y'all nothing because it's already sold out anyway. This is truly, if you are someone who's like, listen, I'm not trying to Google everything. I'm over that. I want the support. I'll be with you for 90 days in a small group. This is not a cattle call. This is 16 women. It doesn't go past that. Everyone knows who's who. We're supporting one another. I'm there with you every step of the way. And I'm there to see you get a result in your service-based business through social media.
She got one spot as my computer is moving really slow on the cut and paste. So I'm ready to paste the link, y'all. But one of the things that Natalie, I thought also was interesting while I'm looking to get this pasted into the chat was even how you broke down the structure of webinars. Like if I'm teaching you how to do media and you don't have the systems in place to monetize it after you've done media, one of the things that you've heard her talk about is the fact that you should do webinars. Yeah. And so I got to manually type it in that. Tell them a little bit about that while because the computer is not letting me, be great.
No problem. No problem. So there are 5 modules in this. So the first one, we cover ideal client clarity and the enrollment process. So even with just that, without any of the technical stuff, I help you get clear on the audience and show you how to take them from interest to paid client through phone calls and through really qualifying them first. We also cover email marketing as a piece of it. And then as TJ mentioned, I give you my workshop and my webinar formula. So literally what your slides need to look like, the timing of it, how you need to go through the process from giving value to how you actually lay up your offer. And I've used this to sell $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 items on a webinar, right? So I show you how to do that in person or offline, or online rather. All the automating to social media, how you need to get that up to be consistent. And then I teach Facebook ads and Instagram ads as well. So those are kind of the main areas that I saw my private clients getting results in. And so I pulled those 5 pieces together, and then I'm offering that in a 90-day live group program with me.
And right there, just having people spend thousands of dollars just to have the formula to do webinars.
Oh, yeah.
For people who do good webinars, understand there is a system to that thing. It's not willy-nilly. There is a system, a proven and tested system of the webinars that perform. So I just posted it in the chat, in the comments, Natalie. Can you see it and double check me?
I'm just about to do that. I literally went right ahead of you. I'm looking for your page on Facebook now. I'm flipping the screen and I'm going to pop it into to make sure it's the right one.
Okay. So make sure that if you are serious about going to the next level, especially if you already kind of have are having a challenge, like identifying who you are in the market and really not making money, you probably want to get you some Natalie Boucher
Get you
in
some
your
Natalie.
life. So, last question, Natalie. What is the one thing that you can tell them that if you don't do nothing else, if you just ignore everything else I have told you, if you do this one thing, it can change the game? What would you say that is?
I'm going to put 2. I'm going to say be consistently authentic.
Okay. Be consistently authentic.
Yeah.
I love that. Show up. And go back to what Cheryl Lewis said about visibility can trump credibility sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. Natalie Goucher, you rock.
Thank you. I'm popping this in the, there we go.
I just saw somebody ask a question. Let me make sure. Is course creation involved in the program, Natalie?
No, however, there's an upgrade. So I work with clients. So my program starts on the 19th. I'm doing one-on-one sessions with people who need help with the course creation or the program creation process before you get into the group. And so, yes, that is an option, but it is an upgrade. But just the group itself is for those of you who already have your services, your programs, your workshops, your classes, and you want to be able to sell them more effectively. That's who the group is for. But if you want the upgrade, that's an option. So I can say the details on that too.
Okay. And then Nancy says, how long is the course? Is each module 1 week or longer?
So it's 2 weeks. Each module is 2 weeks. So I teach live, and then I give you that time to implement. And I'm in the Facebook group doing office hours, speed coaching in between to kind of support you while you're doing it. But you get some time to implement because I want you to do it while we're in the group. I don't want it to be hypothetical.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Miss Natalie Boucher, thank you for coming to play with me on Pimp Your PR.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. All right, guys, we're going to count it down for any last.
Tell them follow me on Instagram if you were here live. Tell
Yes.
them it. If you follow me on Instagram, Facebook. Instagram is like my playground. That's where I play. So Natalie Boucher, find me there. Okay, so Natalie Boucher, you can see how to spell her name right there on the screen. Natalie Boucher, and for those of you who may be listening in this audio, Natalie, Natalie, Goucher is Gouche. Natalie Boucher. Yes. All right, y'all, let's count it down. If you have any last minute things that you want to say before I let Natalie go, in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. We have another guest coming up next Wednesday. I forget who it is, so you just got to be here. I forget, but it's got to be somebody I'm vetting and think is going to actually be a great addition and complement to what we do here at Pimp Your PR. 4, 3, 2. Don't forget to fill out the application if you want to work with Miss Natalie. All right, guys. See you next week. Bye. Thank you.